Up close and personal, isn't it? How you guys doing? Well, today I'm going to talk about abuse. That is abuse at the hands of women. That is, what is that? But anyway, let me just talk about abuse at the hands of women. Because you know what, guys? A lot of times we think that, oh man, when we talk about abuse, it's all about how men abuse women. So it's all about how you be beating up on your wife, beating up on your girlfriend, beating up on your side chick, beating up on the girls in your rotation, whatever it is, you are the instigator and the perpetrator and the one doing the wrong things. I will talk about that, but a little bit at the end. What I really want to talk about, of course, is that guys do get abused. The reality is there's a lot of guys out there that are abused verbally, emotionally, physically, and sexually. Whether they're young boys, they're grown men, they do get abused. And the problem is we live in a society that has made the act of a man getting abused by a woman or other men, whatever it is, as comical, as something to laugh about. Ha 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 ha. He says he got raped. That's why I think that rape in jails across the world is not taken seriously. So in the US and South Africa and Brazil, it's not taken seriously as a problem that needs to be solved because the people looking at that problem think of it as a joke. They don't look at the people that are involved in those situations as human beings, and that the purpose of the criminal justice or correctional system is to help people get back on the right path and become valuable and useful members of society and to pay for their crimes, but not to be raped or violated or any such thing. So when men go through things like that, whether it's perpetrated by other men or women, people don't take it seriously. They think it's a joke. They think it's okay for men to be abused, and which I think is absolute nonsense and is rubbish. Any human being, whether man or woman, has a right not to be abused, has a right not to be sexually, emotionally, verbally abused by anybody. And to keep quiet about verbal abuse against men or physical abuse against men coming from women or sexual abuse against men and boys from women because, oh, women don't abuse people. It's men that are the bad ones. There's no such thing as the bad ones of anything. There are bad men and there are bad women. And there are abusive men and there are abusive women. Not every guy beats up his wife. Not every guy rapes women. It's an individual by individual thing, and it has to be considered as such for all genders. There is no special grouping of people that should be put out as saying only they get abused, everybody else has no right. So that's wrong. That's my first thing. So if you're a guy who's being verbally abused, sexually abused, emotionally abused, the unfortunate thing is that unfortunately the societies that we live in, or the world the way it is right now, does not take that abuse seriously, guys. And so the only person that's really going to help you in that situation is yourself. You have to realize that nobody has a right to abuse you sexually, physically, emotionally. I don't care if it's your wife, your girlfriend, your side, whatever, man, has no right to abuse you. It could be your boss, whatever. Nobody has a right to sexually abuse you, physically abuse you. None of that is allowed or acceptable. That leaves you with only, of course, one course of action as a guy when it comes to that kind of abuse. You've got to be able to recognize physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. If somebody says things that are bad to you, make you feel bad about yourself, make you feel bad, make you feel terrible, that's verbal abuse. If they mess with you emotionally, they're always twisting you around and putting you in situations where you really are a shambles. Emotionally, you are unsettled. You are confused. You're anxious. You are feeling sick because emotional turmoil can make you sick, right? So if you're getting that kind of effect or result from dealing with somebody who you're keeping as a friend or you're in a relationship with, or those women who are physically violent, because there are women who physically hit their husbands, their boyfriends, their sometimes even their friends. But people brush it under the table, brush it under the carpet because they're like, oh, it's a woman, so I can't hit her back, or nobody will believe, or it's okay because it's a woman. No, it's never okay. It doesn't matter if it's a woman that is a midget. If she thinks it's okay to slap you around and beat you, it ain't. And you should not tolerate it. And it doesn't mean you're weak for you to be a victim of such behavior, because you know that person's behavior has got nothing to do with you. It's about their own problems within themselves. That's why they're taking out their violence and abuse on you, and you shouldn't tolerate it. You shouldn't stick around for it. You shouldn't try to fix the person. That's not your business. You should not try to fix anybody. It is not your responsibility to fix some woman because of the issues she had with her father, issues she had as a child, issues she's got with her own insecurities. If she's physically abusive, hits you, kicks you, she swears at you, she emotionally messes with you, you need to walk away. You seriously need to realize this person is toxic. This person is destructive in your life. They create turmoil. They create a lack of harmony. They torture you, they physically assault you. You need to walk away, guys. It doesn't matter. I don't care if your friends think it's funny or the police don't take you seriously. Get up and walk away. Nobody has a right to abuse you. No man, no woman. So if your woman is out there busy beating you, busy swearing at you, busy acting crazy, this includes even negligence, right? If you have a partner who's negligent, that basically they don't pay attention to you. They ignore you. They never give you any attention. They treat you like crap. That's also part of a way of looking at it as abuse. And you shouldn't stick around for it. If that's happening to you, you should walk away. You have a right to walk away. You deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve to be treated like a human being. You deserve to be treated with kindness. And if somebody can't do that, they have no business being in your life. They don't deserve your presence. They don't deserve to be around you. So stop giving yourself to people who definitely do not deserve you, definitely have issues they need to go solve within themselves before they get around you. So if that's happening to you, or you are seeing that kind of situation happening with a friend or whatever, take it seriously, man. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. All right, it ain't no joke. There's a lot of psychological damage that can be done by these kind of things. And if you're in that situation yourself, you need to learn that, you know what, this is an example of where you need to just say, you know what, I'm walking away, man. And of course, there are going to be guys but we share a place. We own a car together, or she's going to take the house if I walk away. Maybe it's a divorce kind of situation. Do you know what? No house, no car, no pair of sneakers, no watch, no, I don't care if half the town is going to be talking about it, is worth your mental health, is worth your well-being, your peace. I would rather walk out of a marriage and end up with a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and a pair of slippers and have to start from scratch to rebuild my life than stay with a woman that is abusive physically, emotionally, verbally, and is negligent. She doesn't make any efforts to make sure that this is mutually beneficial in any way. It's better to walk away, because you know what? Life is too short, and nobody deserves to live miserable because the person they've chosen to share their life with is taking them for granted or taking out their psychological problems on them. So listen, guys, if you are in it, come on. It's difficult. It's not easy. You might have an attachment to that person, but you got to realize you deserve better, and it's time to walk out of that. Now, of course, if you're the guy who is abusive, you beat your girlfriend and you are emotionally and verbally abusive, first thing you got to do is figure out why you're doing that, and you need to stop it. It ain't right. Just as it's not right to do it to you, it's not right to do it to her. You need to go get yourself some therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy, guys. Only weak men don't go to therapy, man. Strong dudes can handle it. Weak dudes, oh yeah, I'm a man. I mean, I can't. Listen, that's weak guys. That's what weak people do. You ain't weak. Ain't no weak people listening to my videos. So you got to be grown and you got to be strong, and you got to get that therapy and figure out why you so angry, why you can't control yourself. And if you're with a person who tries to push that out of you, because I've seen it, where somebody intentionally goes out to engage with their boyfriend or their husband to make him react physically to hurt her. I know there are going to be feminists who don't believe that happens, but it happens. In reality, it does. There are people who cajole and poke the bear in the eye so that it can do something. If you're in that kind of situation with a person like that, that is a form of abuse towards you. And you should walk away from people who try to get the worst out of you. You want people that want to get the best out of you. And if you are pushing the worst of yourself onto another person, you ought to stop it. There's no reason for you to put your hands on a woman. There's no reason for you to use physical violence to control her. There's no need for you to use verbal abuse to control her. There's no need for you to use emotional abuse to control her. Because if you have to go that far to get that person to be loyal, respectful, and catering to you, there's only one conclusion. That's not the right person for you. You need to walk away, because the person that's for you wouldn't need all that to do it. On top of that, it also means you need to figure out how to control your emotions better so that you're not a toxic person. You are not the toxic one in the relationship. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that person. You want to be a good person. You want to have a life of abundance, a life of joy. And you don't get it by taking abuse or giving abuse. And the biggest danger, especially if you're a nice guy, is that women will take advantage of that. Other men will take advantage of that. And that's why being a nice guy is really not the best idea in the world, because everybody lines up to punch you in the face and kick you in the nuts. And you don't want to have your nuts kicked in. You don't want to get punched in the face, because, at some point, man, you just stop believing their view of you is what it is. It isn't. And you deserve more than that. So until next time, do more, be more, become more on your purpose.